Hi, everybody, and welcome to another round of Tuesday Trivia from the International Gaming Institute at UNLV. I'm Michael Green of the UNLV History Department. And this week's question may have seemed a little tricky because the choices probably seemed a little strange. Agatha Christie once said that the way she'd write a mystery is to finish writing it, then she would decide who was the least likely murderer, and then change the story to suit that outcome. It might seem unlikely that big name entertainment would start at the commercial hotel in Elko, but that is where it began in Nevada, April 26, 1941, with the arrival of Ted Lewis. The name may not mean much to you today. Ted Lewis at his time was a major figure in vaudeville and records and motion pictures, a jazz performer, comedian, singer, did a little bit of everything. His most famous number was Me and My Shadow, and his most famous line was, "Is everybody happy?" Well, he was happy to come to Elko. Newt Crumley was the owner of the commercial hotel. His father was a hotelman in Elko, and he's the one who opened the lounge there and then decided to have entertainment with no cover charge or anything. Just buy your drinks and watch. Lewis would be followed in 1941 by such acts as Sophie Tucker, an old vaudevillian known as the last of the Red Hot Mamas, Paul Whiteman, an orchestra leader, Chico Marx of the Marx Brothers, Spike Jones and his City Slickers, who were known for their weird records. In any case, this was the beginning of big name entertainment so far as we know. And the idea was that, of course, Elko is, in theory, off the beaten path. The fact is that it was on the highway, it was on the Central Pacific Railroad, and if you're going to stop there, maybe you'll stay an extra day if there's some entertainment. Now, the other options on that list, Whiskey Pete's was really just being cute. It was not noted for big-name entertainment. The El Rancho Vegas was the first hotel on the Las Vegas Strip, and it would have some of the same entertainers who would perform up in Elko. And some of the same things would happen. The story out of Elko is that Ted Lewis spent a lot of his trip at the tables, and he lost enough money that he had to come back to pay off what he lost. Well, the same thing used to happen with Sophie Tucker at the El Rancho Vegas, but that was the first hotel on the Strip, and they also had some big names. To mention Harrah's Club in Reno, Bill Harrah brought big-name entertainment to Reno and was especially well known for the fact that when he had in an entertainer, he would give them a house to stay in, butlers and maids. They didn't have to pay for any food, and this made it nice for them. They got to have a little taste of home while they were on the road, but also it meant they often would work for Harrah for less money than they might be paid elsewhere. Obviously, Las Vegas would go on to be known as the entertainment capital of the world, and hotels like the El Rancho Vegas and the Hotel Last Frontier, the first two on the Strip, would be the ones to start bringing in the big names. There was a showgirl named Maxine Lewis who in fact became the person in charge of entertainment at the Last Frontier Hotel, and it was in 1944 that she booked a fairly well-known piano player out of Wisconsin who went by his last name, Liberace. Now, there might be technically another answer to this question. The Meadows was a nightclub that opened in Las Vegas in 1931, and they had brought in various entertainers. They brought in a group in the 30s that was known, but it was not common for them to bring in big names, and this was different. It was a group called the Gum Sisters, and they had been in some short subjects and appeared in Southern California and then did some touring. The youngest of the Gum Sisters, Frances, would return to Las Vegas showrooms later after starring in The Wizard of Oz and changing her name to Judy Garland. Elko, well, some big names still come through there. It isn't noted as the entertainment capital of the world, but then again, they began it all.